Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm glad you're doing some math today. I've got a story problem for you today, and during this story problem, we are going to think, or during this whole math lesson, we are going to think about how to divide a unit fraction by a whole number. So the unit fractions are those real easy fractions. Lots of times they have a 1 as a numerator. Previously, we learned how to divide a whole number by a unit fraction. This time we're dividing a unit fraction by a whole number. Pause for a minute and get that straight in your brain because that's a lot to think about. Go ahead and pause now and see if you can restate what I just said. Okay, so here's our problem. Last May, Brooke made a pan of brownies. Of course, it was last May because, this whole social distancing thing going on, she wouldn't have been able to have friends over recently. So last May, Brooke made a pan of brownies. She and her family ate half the brownies. The next day, she and 3 friends had the rest of the brownies to share equally. I see a little typo. What fraction of the pan of brownies did each person get? Go ahead and pause the video and do a visual representation. Go ahead and pause now. Okay, while you were paused, I started drawing my pan of brownies, and I'm going to divide them in half. Here is half of the pan of brownies, and I am going to call this the pan that Brooke and her family ate the night before. So that part's disappeared. Then the next day, she and 3 friends, so there were 4 of them, divided the rest of the pan equally and ate them up. So what fraction of the pan did each person get? So when I look at that, it is 1/4 of half, but of the whole pan, each of these sections are equal to 1/8. So the fraction that each person got was 1/8 of the whole pan. Okay, now some of you right now are thinking, wait a second, Mrs. Staffke, this is multiplication. And you're right, multiplication is the opposite of division. Multiplication is one way we can think about it. You might be telling yourself that the problem is, what is 1/4 of half? And 1/4 of half, remember you multiply numerators and you multiply denominators, is 8. So you're absolutely right. It can be a multiplication problem. Since we're talking about division, though, we have to think of it in a different way. So to think of it as a division problem, we're going to take the 1/2 we've got here, and we are going to say we took 1/2 and divided it by 4, and that equaled 1/8. Okay, we're going to go to a new page, and I'm going to draw another problem for you. In this problem, there's half a casserole left over. You can call it any kind of casserole that you like. So here's my pan. Go ahead and draw this out with me. And half of my casserole is gone. Okay, you're going to pretend that I just made a beautiful drawing there. And 3 people are going to share the leftovers equally. So we're going to take, this is the leftover half, and 3 people are going to share it equally. So I have 1/2, and I just divided it by 3. So what is left over? Each person, would get 1/6 of the whole pan. So the equation I would write would be 1/2 divided by 3 equals 1/6. For your worksheet, I want you to draw out each of the problems. I want you to really think them through and draw them out because they are kind of tricky. Luckily on the reteaching, it shows you an example model. The example that they give you, though, the drawing is slightly confusing to me. So you want to think of when it says divide 1/3 into 4 equal parts, you draw the 1/3 and then you divide it into 4 equal parts. So 1/3 divided into 4 equal parts, you're going to divide it into thirds, and actually on the worksheet, they divide it into thirds this direction. And then you're going to divide it into the 4. So there's the 1/3 that we're talking about, into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. And you got to imagine these lines going all through, and you can figure out that each of these is 1/12. So your answer is 1/12. That's a 2. So that's your reteaching example right there, kind of explained out. All right, good luck, you guys. You're going to rock this. I know you will. Don't forget to draw those pictures because you want to understand what you're doing. I'm going to back up just a little bit because I remember that I taught you the trick as well, and I want to remind you of that. So on this problem, we've got right here, we've got 1/3 divided by 4. I'm going to rewrite it. Divided by, and I'm going to write it as 2 fractions. And then remember that number rock video, that's keep it. You keep that the same. I'm going to change colors. Keep this the same. Switch this to multiplication and flip this. So it's 1 and this becomes the 4. Then multiply as normal and I get 1/12 because when you multiply straight across. You don't have to do anything goofy trying to find common denominators when you're multiplying. Okay, I'm going to go back to this one. Okay, let's see if we can do the trick on this one. We've got 1/2 divided by 3/1. And now we're going to keep it, switch it, flip it, keep, switch, flip. And I'm going to multiply my numerator straight across. And oops, I see what went wrong. This was supposed to be flipped to a 3. Sorry about that. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 6. So what I did was I kept it, switched it, and flipped it. This was the problem. It got a little bit messy. All right, let's try the trick on this one. I've got 1/4. No, I'm sorry. I've got 1/2 divided by 4. Okay, see if you can do this one by yourself. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so I'm hoping you did the keep it, switch it, flip it, and then you multiplied straight across, and you multiplied straight across, and you figured out that the answer was 1/8. Now you know both ways how to do this. You know how to draw the picture, get a visual representation, you understand the meaning of this type of division, and how you get the answer using an algorithm. This is the algorithm right here. Good job. Good luck on your reteaching. And don't forget to draw the picture and do the algorithm. Good luck.